I'd like to call the meeting to order. Linda, you have roll call?
Mayor Crane.
Here.
Councilmember Salt.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Sayre.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
And Tanner.
Here.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Minutes stand approved. Casey?
Still doing brush cleanup, got most of the big piles, but I think they're coming back around for their second round. And then working on some water lines that were leaking before the storms were back to those.
Okay, thank you. Greg?
Last meeting I said something about we're gonna have to get some new live equipment to do eco-eyes.
Yep.
And I researched that and, I need probably permission to go ahead and order that. We need to start using it by the end of August, so I don't know how long it'll take to get
Okay.
here, but
Okay,
I just need approval to order it.
you got,
I've got the quote here.
quote list, okay.
There's just one, there's just one place you can order it from,
Okay.
it's a whole monopoly, but anyway. The total is, $4,897.84, that's minus tax, cause they've added tax, and we'll get that off, and then they've got a care thing, maintenance and, agreement for, I don't know if we need that or not, for another $975, it's a warranty.
A year, or,
I'm not sure, I gotta check in what that is exactly, but I don't know if, I'll figure that out if that's something we need.
okay, that's the only place we can get the stuff, it's the right stuff.
Yeah, it's
we
the right
need.
stuff, and I've used it
Does
other
anybody wanna make
places.
a motion to purchase that?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second? Okay, got a second. Josh?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Alright. Then there'll be, some consumables to go along with that, for reagents and containers and stuff.
Okay, we'll find out about the maintenance
Yeah,
agreement.
Yeah, see if that's something we need to
Yeah.
do or not. The only other thing, do we know, or is the school gonna use the pool after we close on August 9th or whatever?
They
I'm
haven't
assuming.
talked- They haven't talked to us about it.
Okay, so assuming they are at this point until we hear otherwise, or, I mean, we're not where we need to figure chemicals yet, but it's coming pretty quick.
Yeah,
I'll see it, well, Ashland's mom is
yeah, we'll find out.
running that, so she should be able to find that out. Okay, I didn't know if you'd already done that.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll check into that.
Okay,
What's our status for finding a well at this point?
Pardon?
What's our status for finding a well at this point?
they haven't got back with me on it since they wanted to engage the Spanish company. So, I think they're still waiting on them to locate, give us a map.
Do we have any idea when construction will start down at the wastewater plant, or?
After we bid it out, so.
That's where we're at now. I think a lot or most of the stuff's down there at this point, I don't know what else is coming.
The clarifiers,
Well, the actual construction.
yeah, and the blowers,
The blowers aren't there yet?
yeah,
Okay.
the tubing's there, but not the blowers. So not too much more.
Getting quite a
other than
collection
that.
down there.
Yeah, yep,
Right with the well, is that something we're gonna be able to address this season?
I hope so. That's the plan, that's why,
Okay.
they would've found water, it would've
No,
been
it
easy.
would be done already.
Yeah, but I hope so. Jim?
I don't have anything. I do have one question about the park though, cause I got a couple calls on reference to the driveway by the volleyball court, where they cut the electrical, go through, it's dropped.
Yeah.
It's potentially
We're
on
gonna-
our ankles and sand out there on the roadway.
We're gonna put,
I was just there for us to ask if you guys
Yeah.
got a plan
Yeah.
and fix it, so.
we're gonna put railroad ties on the corners, keep them from driving. And then we'll have to coming tomorrow, so, be delivered, so. Be digging the footings for that here next week.
About materials also.
Pardon?
Talk about material, so.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that gonna go where the old one was?
it is, Brad. You know, that's why we couldn't dig the footings, cause it wasn't gonna be here in time, so I couldn't have them dig with the 4th of July celebration.
Have we got anybody to do the pavilion yet?
He was gonna start tomorrow.
Oh, we didn't
So,
mean to let-
yeah, good. He was planning on starting tomorrow, and, so hopefully that's still the plan. He called me last
Great.
week. Just wait till after the, couple of the last, family reunions got over and the celebration. Josh?
Just to follow up with you on the, we all received a, email from, Amanda Strauser.
Yeah.
about The grants and, have you looked into that
Yeah.
as far as?
We're
making sure
okay.
we're compliant?
I will tell you what prompted it. The flower beds at the playground, go by them and look at them.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, they look horrible. We need to get somebody that knows a weed from a flower. And the native stuff made her mad, so she fired off that email to everybody. I assume you got one in the mail, didn't you, or you and Joe?
Yeah.
Isn't somebody tasked with that now though? Like she
There-
had talked
there
6
had-
months ago with as far as
Yeah,
reading the bed.
there has been all year, but she's not doing so good, so Amanda got somebody, and that I think will be real good.
Okay.
Starting the 19th, it'll be the next girl up,
Okay.
so hopefully that'll be better anyway.
I know I asked baseball, because she referred the baseball and softball locked the bathrooms. If she would have asked, they would have unlocked those bathrooms. I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty much always unlocked except at night to be
Yeah.
secured anyway.
Henry Schmidt had a key, and if they would have just asked, you know, and I told them when they asked me, like on the 4th of July, I said, Henry's got a key to it, and, cause the same key fits all restrooms.
Okay.
And all they had to do was unlock them, and it would've been fine. But I don't think that was a real issue, cause I don't think there was a lot of people over there that,
Understood.
yeah,
I was just curious on that.
complained. I think that was it.
Are those things that we have to do to be in compliance with the grant?
No.
You take it,
No,
they
no,
did?
not at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, they could have been open, we keep them locked.
No, I'm
No, he's
talking
talking
about
about
the
the
soccer, I mean, the
Letter.
sand volleyball.
Oh, the sand, no, that doesn't have anything to do with the grant, that was,
Oh, it doesn't?
no, we just have to, no, that's the grant with the foundation.
Okay.
And I've talked to Dale about it,
So those things that she had on that paper don't have to be done?
well, we're not gonna put the net up that goes clear around, because, we had an issue with I don't know if the aircraft cable broke, or if it was just cause the kids were pulling on it and jumping on it. Cause last week it was in a V shape before it broke.
That's twice already.
Yeah, it's broke twice. So they've taken the boundary lines apart. So we're not gonna put the net that keeps the ball from going.
Well, as long as it's
Yeah.
stuff that we don't have to be in compliance
Yeah.
with.
No, we're okay. Casey talked to me this morning, we're gonna put, railroad ties on the corners to hold the sand, and then build the road on around and connect it, so.
Have you talked to IMPA or anyone about the power lines that are gonna, eventually they gotta go underground, right?
That,
Converted,
All-
for the,
all of them will.
in the park,
Yeah, and, we've done some of them, but we've got 3 years to do it.
Okay, I thought there was some time
Yeah.
for that, you said.
And the real problem was the grant, the National Park Service was 8 months late approving the federal portion of it. DNR was on time, but, the federal portion just was delayed. So, we're in good shape with it. We'll have, most of it done. It got kinda late for us, and Matt Hessler was gonna do the paving on the new tennis courts, so we had to delay that. So, we'll get that next year though. But they are gonna start on the big pavilion, I believe, tomorrow.
Okay.
You have anything else, Josh?
No, sir.
Justin?
I don't have anything tonight.
Joe?
Now, you don't think we need to put the nets up around the volleyball? Well, how you gonna keep the cats out?
You're not gonna keep the cats out. Yeah, I know. I know. It's-
I should've shut this off.
That's part of it.
I know.
No, cause they'd have it, we've had problems with nets over at soccer, catching some wildlife in them and dying, so, we do just like we've always done with volleyball. If it gets hit out, somebody chases the ball, it's not really too hard. Oh, I know.
I'm on that all.
Is that all you had?
Yeah.
Brad?
I was hoping Mark was gonna be here tonight. Can we make sure he's here for the next meeting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, he usually shows up.
They never did get ahold of me to meet them out there at the golf course so that I could call Jeff Clark.
Yeah, 'cause we need to get that wrapped up too.
Well, we need to get that wrapped up before we annex.
Yeah.
But, you know, I talked to Garth a couple, 3 times, and I told him, I said, all you gotta do is give me a call.
Yeah.
That's what I really meant was Garth, not Mark.
Yeah. I'll get a hold of him this week. Is that all you had, Brad?
Yeah.
Bob?
Where are we at on, the annexation out there, you know, given the,
That's Taylor's not here.
Taylor is not here, but I think it's gonna take 3 or 4 meetings.
well, I mean, I just, you know, when I talk to Jeff Clark, I'd like to be able to give him enough time to get ever how many fire hydrants the fire department's gonna request out there to put in.
See if he's willing to do it.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, they
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't we have signed stuff from people out there that wanna be annexed?
Oh, yeah.
There's, I mean,
Yeah.
About 60 or 70%.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah.
but I think at the same time, he needs to be let know that, as of right now, anything happens out there, they gotta take care of it.
Yeah,
Water, electric, sewer,
yeah.
anything, if it's not annexed.
We're building another house out there right now.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. The other thing is, you know, last meeting we talked about with Shannon about what we was gonna be doing. You said you'd check on what we could do about their comp time.
Yes.
Have we come up with any kind of solution?
I think that we will, pay overtime for the holidays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can do that now, getting back to the comp time that some of them have accumulated.
Yeah, I don't,
What do we,
You know.
do we want to get some kind of figure of what it costs the city to pay those off? Or let them use up the comp time?
that's been, well, it's gonna be hard for some of them to use it all up, but it's
Yeah.
also gonna be hard to pay it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We got 5 months to be able to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Work that out.
Yeah, and nothing has to be done in a certain time, but I think we did agree to pay, time and a half on holidays.
On holidays, that's what you requested, wasn't it?
On the last meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to vote on that policy, because that's based on policy, right, not on ordinance.
Yes, no, is it 23
think he's
13,
gonna have a new policy.
Okay.
So I
Amending.
basically had that ordinance written,
Yeah,
and with everything, and if you guys approved it and I'm ready to turn that in, I
Yeah.
can turn it in next meeting for the overall ordinance for the approval.
okay.
But I was just gonna see where we're sitting on for the holidays, for the overtime hours worked.
What I think to do is present it in writing, handle it at the next meeting.
Yeah,
But I didn't wanna put it in the ordinance if it wasn't gonna get passed.
yeah,
Right, right.
yeah,
I think you got support.
yeah. It's gonna be about $4,000 or $5,000.
Based on,
The
Holiday
number of
time.
holidays we have, time and a half on the number of holidays. Maybe a little more than that with 4th of July.
The other question I got. Resolution 2023-1. Are we to ignore it, as a city council to ignore it?
Brian, did you get everything in?
Everything that I know of, Brad.
Okay, I wanna know who told you it didn't have to be engineered,
Chris Brock told us that.
okay? And who told you you had till June 30th,
That'd be Chris Brock also.
okay? I'm gonna go to Lafayette Thursday, and I'm gonna, address this.
Well, what I'm getting at is, the council has addressed this resolution 2023-1, which includes both, developers for the Ready Grant. Now, I don't know where once these projects will be subject to compliance with the IEDC and contracting with the agency. I mean, we all passed this, voted on and passed this, and with what you presented the last meeting, it doesn't look that way to me.
It was, they said that not everything was in.
Who said?
So what was not in, Brad?
I'm gonna find out.
Well, we were told, we went up Friday and talked to that, what's her name, Julie Berry. And she more or less said, kind of backwards what you were saying, that the city is more or less telling them what they're approving. And then from there, that's where they look at, then that's entered to the Lafayette Chamber of Commerce. But the way she makes it sound, everything should've came from the city council. But you're saying you was waiting for the IEDC to decide which one to approve.
But you had all your stuff in.
Everything that we know of, we had that 16 questionnaire thing, we turned that all in. We had all our plans, development letter.
Okay.
What it should have required was something from the city, so I would like to see what was turned in to the Lafayette Chamber of Commerce on behalf of the city, to make sure ours was even included in that.
Well,
I haven't seen anything on that.
I don't think anything was turned in.
According to them, it had to be turned in, something had to be
They
turned in.
told me that yours wasn't in. So I'm gonna go up.
I've got emails showing ours was in, so.
You do?
Yes.
Can you send that to me?
I can, I guess.
I have it
You're going up tomorrow,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Well, you can see where I'm coming from, since we've been told that the city
Yeah.
council is gonna be in charge of distribution of the Ready Grant money, the funds and stuff. When we start getting claims in for whatever might be being done anywhere, either place out there, we need to know what proportion, if both of them are going to be receiving any of this money from Ready Grant people. I mean, the council is left high and dry on stuff like this. Very little information have we received from these Ready Grant people. And I've been told that the lady that sat out there, the very first thing, didn't really know what she was talking about.
Who said that?
Pardon? The lady that come here the first time and tried to give us, and the last thing she said, the council is going to be responsible for distribution of money, of this Ready Grant money. And,
and that's not exactly it, cause it's reimbursement, it's not.
But the council is I know that it's reimbursable
Yeah.
grant.
Yes.
When whoever pays that initial claim, we're gonna have to see it. Because we're gonna have to
Sure.
we're gonna have to have bids
Exactly.
to match
Yeah.
that claim.
Yeah,
See,
That's
that's what,
exactly right.
that's what this city
Yeah.
council's gonna be responsible
Yeah.
for.
well, I'm gonna go up because they told me, and Chris Brock was one of them, that you didn't have everything in.
I think we have something that proves that we did have everything in.
Okay.
Brad, I talked to Scott Walker and he told me word for word that Chris Brock, when she was at this meeting, shouldn't have answered those questions because she gave a lot of misinformation. And that was word for word out of his mouth. So, I mean, as far as the information, we're only good with the information
Yeah.
we're given, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what he said.
Yeah,
Now, what we also heard was what that, we could qualify for the Indiana Ready Grant 2.0. And talking to her up there Friday, she said that's gonna be for capital projects. That's not gonna be for housing.
that's not true.
That's what she told us. Did she tell us that?
Yours is a capital project, and it is housing, and they've.
I'm talking about the 2.0, she said that will not be for infrastructure and for housing, that will be for capital projects.
So that's what they told me at the meeting Friday.
All I can say is what she told us there Friday afternoon. We went up there to give her some information there and asked a couple of questions, but we just wanted straight answers.
As for the council, I'd like to have somebody here sitting out there that's got knowledge of what we are supposed to be, what we're going to be responsible to do. You know, until this council finds out what our responsibilities are gonna be and the complex things that we have to receive to be able to pay a claim, I can't sit here and vote yes to pay a claim. Cause I don't wanna, I wouldn't wanna be responsible for paying a claim that we don't have a bid on.
Right,
You know,
Right.
I mean, any other council member up there ought to feel the same way.
right,
Because if you do, you're gonna be liable for
yeah.
it.
Nobody's turned any claims in.
No, I know, not
Yeah.
yet, you know, we haven't even let bids yet, you know, on any of the
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah.
We haven't got anything yet.
We've
we
said
need
all
to-
along that we want both projects to go. We've never tried to not say anything about yours there. We want both of them to go. That is for the best of Covington. We want what's best for Covington.
I agree.
We've spent a lot of money
Yeah.
on ground. We got 27 acres here in Covington. We wanna see things go, you
Yeah.
know?
I
So
know.
that's what we're about. We're kinda deciding whether we wanna stick around or not here, the
Yeah.
way things are going.
Well, you know, the next question I got, is it going to be responsible of the council, to get answers from these Ready Grant people? Is it gonna be our responsibility? Or can we get somebody down here from the Ready Grant people to explain what our responsibilities is gonna be?
I think we can.
I think we need to do
Yeah.
that.
And the only thing she-
Everybody
I'm
sitting
sorry.
up here knows what they gotta do, what we
Yeah.
can do,
Yeah.
what we have to do.
She more or less told us it was a done deal there, that it's all going to the Shiloh development, cause it's past June 30th.
But she told you that 2.0 was no infrastructure and no
That's
housing.
what she said.
Okay.
That's all I got, I mean, if you could get somebody down
Yeah.
here to, you know, to advise us
Yeah.
of what we have to do.
Brad, did we not get a email saying that ours is approved?
Yes.
Well, shouldn't they have got one that said theirs is approved if it was?
Well,
I mean, that should've went back to the city of Covington, Scott. I never did get anything from Brenda Hardy after, the only thing I ever got was.
I'm talking
something-
about from the
I didn't get anything
IEDC.
from Brenda.
I mean, the people that's doing the grant, we got an email said that
Yeah.
ours is approved. I figured,
From IEDC,
yeah,
I just wanna make sure ours was turned in, so from the city.
well, you know,
You turned your stuff in, didn't you?
It has to come.
You took
It has to come from the
Lafayette.
city, the way we understand her. We turned everything in that we were told, the the 16 questionnaire thing,
Mhm.
letter of commitment, development letter, all that. We actually put it in for both developments, because trying to figure out, you know, if it had to be engineered or not. But we're also told by other people there that it doesn't have to be engineered, so that's why we came to you to say,
Somebody
does it
else-
have to be engineered or not?
Somebody else, because I don't know how you'd ever bid anything out if it wasn't engineered.
We had elevations and stuff there, but we went ahead and again, we paid for the $37,600 and something dollars, plus gonna be even a little bit more to get everything engineered and all that, and then here we are still sitting there without.
Yeah. I didn't,
And we brought this up here last meeting, Bob made a motion to try to approve our development, and three others that was up here, nobody made a second motion, Josh was not here.
we approved it on that resolution. But it's subject to compliance. So they said you didn't have everything in, right? That's what I'm.
Why
gonna
don't
go-
you tell us what we didn't have in?
That's what I'm gonna go up and figure out.
We've been up there a few times.
Worst case scenario.
They more or less, they keep saying you need to talk to your mayor and the city council. So that's why we come,
Brad.
we openly discuss things here.
For your guys, the Shiloh development, did the city have to send paperwork in?
No, the city didn't.
Did I'm just asking us the other side of it, did the city have to send something in for Shiloh in order for the grant to be?
No, I submitted all the information, same thing Brian
Yeah,
had.
understand.
The 16 point, thing that Brenda Hardy had.
And we also got a thing that said that, from Chris saying, we just want you to know that there's only $200,000 available because you had put something in for $550,000 originally, so she said.
That's what I put on the budget.
Okay, but that budget, I mean, it's just a guesstimate until you get the bids and stuff out there, you don't know what you're dealing with.
Right.
In today's world, you know, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna take a lot more than that to put it in.
Yeah,
I
we
was just
understand.
working off ready grant dollars.
But when we were there Friday, that lady didn't even know what 16 questions we were talking about.
Oh.
And we kept trying
She
to tell
just,
her.
she just came on board in the last month or two.
She's been on there a couple months, I think.
Yeah.
And then she said that they don't talk to the developers. I mean, she wouldn't tell us anything. She just wanted to get rid of us.
You should have submitted everything. See, I submitted everything to Chris Brock.
You too.
We did too.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll have an answer for you as soon as I go up there.
See if you can get him to attend the next meeting
I
to
will.
advise this council.
I will.
That's all I have.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything? Meeting's adjourned.